Oh no, not the parents' meeting. I wonder what did he just do this time?
Mr. Deanna, Ms. Deanna, I appreciate you to come in for the parents' meeting of this school, which is the school is now in this school year and ready to attend school on January 7th.
I know, sir. We are come here big time whenever Henry misbehaves at school. I can't believe this is the 5th time this happens, and what my naughty adopted son Henry did this time. I can't wait to hear what you guys' words. Because if I heard Henry just cause misbehaving like this once, then we will give him a serious consequence at home. Besides, what Henry did this time at school.
Okay, Ms. Deanna, that Mrs.Elroy gave all of you explanation why all you at parent meeting at school.
Thank you, Mr. James. I will explain about Henry's recent behavior today. So recently, in 1 hour ago, Henry has caused big trouble with staff and students once again, and he has even beat up everyone until the blood was really got out. And now staff and students was at the hospital due to Henry's behavior. Their parents was so upset about this. Students and staff will have to stay at the hospital for the rest of the month because of this.
Oh my god, I can't believe Henry did this again to everybody. First he start a fight, then he write a love letters to the English classes, then he start a fight again at the cafeteria, then he beat up all of the students, and now this. We are so furious that we decided to give Henry a serious consequences when we get home.
Okay, I will give you a fully backstory of Henry beat up violently to people. When Henry was recently entered the school, he is discussed to see Kurt and their girlfriend Merlin were talking about something. He trying to talk with Kurt and Merlin to ask something. But suddenly, Kurt was really annoyed to see Henry again. Then ask Henry what he wants. But suddenly Kurt will not accept Henry's favor to steal his girlfriend away. When Henry was shocked for hearing Kurt's words, for what he was did to Merlin 2 years ago. When Henry is trying to ask Kurt to give him a favor, and he's starting to get mad for Kurt from unaccept Henry's favor. And then Kurt is going to have a serious furious with Henry for force her to accept Henry's favor, but Kurt tries to convince Henry, but she doesn't accept Henry's favor for what he did to Merlin 2 years ago. Then suddenly Robbie appears to confess Henry to not allowed to get marry Merlin, and then Alice appears to confess Henry to threatening to steal his girlfriend. Then Tracy another appears to confess Henry for what he did to Tracy 3 months ago, and now Mrs. Me shout at everyone to threatening to go to detention. Then suddenly Henry was so extremely furious for interrupt other people, and he threatening to beat everyone up for interrupt other people. Mrs. Mees even doesn't care about threatening to beat everyone up from Henry, because the Henry seems to be afraid if he beat up everyone. Then suddenly Henry is possessed with some demons because he's starting to kill 5 classmates and 1 staff, and then Kat appears as extremely feared to beat up everyone. She rushed into the principal's office quick before he's getting worse for everyone, because he don't let there be effect to have a lot of blood out and beaten up by Henry. And there, Kat was got in the principal's office, and then Kat is trying to tell her, and there is the fight on a school hall, and then rush to the school hall quick before it's even worse than everybody. And since Henry is possessed by demons and beaten up everyone, but it was too late, people got already blood out by Henry for interrupt other people, everyone is lying down and the kids are crying. But locally, me and Kat finally got to the school hall, but it sees some people crying for blood out, and now, me and Kat were extremely furious for Henry to beat up everyone and even get their blood out because of him. And I asked Henry to come to the office and ask him to come to the office for Henry's behavior. So that's why the backstory of Henry why he beat up everybody so hard and make people stay in the hospital for the rest of the month.
Oh my god, Henry. You should be ashamed to yourself to beat up violently to everybody. You completely a big monster to everybody, also adopted son. Besides, doing like that is absolutely never allowed in Moose Jaw. And when people get out from the hospital for next month, you must apologize to everyone for what you have done to everybody. We can't believe you doing like this to everybody. You should know that beating up can get you in trouble, and you can also get beaten up by the other person.
And we are so sorry for my adopted son's actions on today. We promise we are never let my sons doing like this again to people. And when we get home, Henry will have a serious discussion of us for what he has done to everybody. Thanks for notifying us about the situations.
You're welcome, Miss Dean. Hope your son will be behaved once someday, and I also hope Henry will apologize people after released from hospital on next month.
Oh, and before all of you and your son leave, I also mention Henry's expelled from school for the rest of the life. But not just that, he also going to asylum every day, even after he's got expelled from school. He must be obliged to count school for detention ever.
Okay, Mr. James, we will bring Henry to the asylum after he's got expelled from school.
Thank you, Ms. Deanna. And all of you may be able to go now. Parents' meetings are dismissed. Have a nice day.
Henry, this is the 5th time that we have parents' meetings at school. Why would you beat up everybody violently at school? You don't realize they put in the coma and gashes of blood out. But not just that, you can also be beaten up by someone if they say you beat up at innocent people. Now everybody is going to staying at the hospital for the rest of the month. And you pay me for medical bills for their injuries.
And after everybody got released from the hospital, you must give apologize to people for what you just did to everyone. Because if you don't apologize to them after they got released from the hospital, you are going to spank them yourself. As for your punishment for the rest of the life whenever you get trouble in some way,